Hi, I'm Koen and today I'm going to review the song of Australia at Eurovision 2020, Montaigne, with the song Don't Break Me. Last year, Australia organized a national final to select a Eurovision entry for the first time, called Eurovision Australia Decides. And this year that national final was used again to select a Eurovision artist, which was won by Montaigne with the song Don't Break Me, co-written and composed by Montaigne herself. The song talks about not being happy in a relationship anymore and wanting to break up with someone, but being scared that someone is going to break you, basically, if you tell them that you want to break up. So being scared to break up with that person, which is why she is telling that person to not break her. I really like Australia's entry this year. I watched the national final live and Montaigne was my biggest favorite, so I was very happy that she won. When she had won the contest, Australia was one of the few countries with an official Eurovision entry, and this entry was the one that I listened to the most, and I still listen to it quite often, so I still enjoy it. And also, I really want Australia to win one time just because I love the host of the national final, and if, or should I say when, Australia finally wins Eurovision, I really hope that they are going to be the hosts. I think the song is really well written and you can really feel that Montaigne has experienced this herself, which I always like in a song, that you can feel that it has a personal connection to the artist. And the chorus is also very catchy, it stays in your head and you can also sing along to it quite easily. My favorite part of the lyrics are, "It feels like you're taking me for granted. I've given you everything I have, yeah. And I can barely bring to mind the reason why I've stretched myself so far for you." Because there she basically tells the reason why she wants to break up, why she's not happy in that relationship anymore. Basically her struggle in that relationship. And I also think that it's the most relatable part of the lyrics, because who hasn't felt taken for granted in their life? I mean, I know I have, and I think everyone has felt taken for granted at some point in their life. I think Australia would have qualified. Until now, they've never failed to qualify, and I don't think that that would have changed this year if Eurovision wouldn't have been cancelled, because I think the song is very accessible and people can relate to this song quite easily, so I think people would have easily voted for the song. I think the song is both jury and televote friendly. I do feel like the performance would have needed a little bit of perfecting, but if you look at last year, Australia had such an amazing performance, especially compared to what the performance at the national final looked like, so I'm sure that the same would have happened with the performance at Eurovision this year, which they would have needed because they would have competed in the first semi-final, which basically would have been a bloodbath. So in that semi-final it would have been especially important to have a memorable staging and a memorable act. Montaigne is confirmed as the Australian representative at Eurovision next year, so Australia has basically gone back to an internal selection. This year at the national final of Australia, Dami Im, the representative of Australia in 2016, said that she was going to try again for Eurovision and compete in the national final, so that won't happen next year, but I think we will see Dami Im compete at the Australian national final in 2022. Montaigne was actually confirmed as the Australian representative pretty quickly after Eurovision was cancelled this year, which makes me happy because it really shows that the Australian broadcaster is behind the artist and not necessarily only cares about viewing figures. Also, now that Eurovision is cancelled, there are so many alternative Eurovision related programs on the Australian television, which really shows that Australia is a really big fan of Eurovision and also shows why Australia has earned their place at Eurovision. So that concludes my review for Don't Break Me. What do you think of the song? Let me know in the comment section down below. And that's it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you later. Bye!